welcome to the London Embodiment Circle. We are filming this one, so it's an example for all the circles around the world. If people want to take inspiration from it, they don't have to do it exactly as we're doing it, of course, they can do it their own way, but some groups have said, hey, we'd like to see an example. And for all you out there, hello, around the world, wherever you are. This circle is a bit unusual because it's mostly full of conveners from circles from other countries who have got together in London. I'm the convener, as it were, for this one, in that I booked the space and I filled the roles. So the convener's job is to make sure there's a space, to set time, to put it on Facebook or wherever, and to find someone to facilitate, to secretary, which would be Krista from Berlin today. And I found someone to do some meditation, which is Danielle from Convenors. And we found someone to do some movement, which is Kim from Russia, who you can't see because she's behind the camera. Okay. And we have Neil, who's doing our guest sessions. So the other roles are usually consistent in a group, so they're like the same for 6 months or a year. And the guest teacher is different every time. The idea being that there's different styles, different approaches. No one style is like running the show. So Neil will be today, and then if we were doing another group next week or in a month, it would be a completely different type of person. All right, so as the convener, that's sort of my job done. I now shut up and hand over to our secretary / facilitator.
Yeah, hello, welcome. Mark had just mentioned what's going to come up today. We're going to start with meditation, but just before we start, I'd like to share a couple of principles of the circle group. And the first one would be that you're here in this space. You have a choice. So you can join us for the exercises, and you can lean back and do your thing if something is feeling uncomfortable. Please notice when you're having unease in yourself and respect that. See if you want to stretch into that and lean into the uneasiness, or maybe just lean back and do something else. Okay. We have agreed on confidentiality, setting this up. Is everyone okay with what happens here, stays here, and we're not going to talk about other people's stuff when we leave here? So this space is just for us. Is everyone okay with this consent? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. The second purpose of the circle group is a shared learning. So we have people that are working in embodiment practices, and we have people that are new to embodiment that want to learn more. So this is a very flat hierarchical system to learn from each other and with each other. So we all are bringing expertise with us, either expertise in one specific field, or being new to the field is also an expertise because you have a fresh eye that maybe wakes up to some blind spots. So we're here, everyone's bringing something into the pot. So welcome and enjoy the shared learning. And the third part, which we're not going to be focusing on too much today, but it's part of the circle group, is to network and to learn from each other what they're doing. Maybe we'll learn about where spaces are. Like in Berlin, it's quite a jungle of different studios and spaces. So that's a place in Berlin. We talk about where somebody could be offering their workshop, or maybe even a couple times we've had spontaneous workshops developed. Like, hey, you do Qigong, and I would love to have Qigong open up for my workshop that I'm teaching next week. Could you come? So it would be a space where you can learn from each other, and also possibly work with each other, and find a way to get out of this system and more this system. Like, how can I help you in what you're doing? How can I support you? Hey, could you give me a hand with this? I'll give you a free spot in my workshop, and you can do this. Okay, so those are the three paths.
Can I restate those?
Yeah.
So for those of you out there, the purpose of the Embodiment Circle. So the three purposes: connection between different diverse types of embodiment practitioners, learning and accessible learning, in that it's usually free or donation, it's not expensive like most of this field. So then the learnings, and then subgroups is business, professional business benefit. So the groups that are like in Berlin, there's much more professionals, that's a sort of third. And the groups without professionals is just the first two, so the connection and the accessible learning.
Thank you very much. Is everyone okay with that? Are there any questions? Go forward. No? So Daniela, over to you. Thanks for 10 minutes meditation.
So before we start, I see a few new faces compared to the last circle. Anybody has no experience with meditation, mindfulness practice? Everybody already did this. Okay, great. So we will have like about 10 minutes of meditation, watching the breath, the body. I will guide that. And I would like to invite you to find a comfortable position where you sit upright but not rigid.
Expertise in one specific field or being new to the field is also an expertise because you have a fresh eye that maybe wakes us up to some blind spots. So we're here and everyone's bringing something into the pot. So welcome and enjoy the shared learning. And the third part, which we're not going to be focusing on too much today, but it's part of the circle group is to network and to learn from each other what we're doing. Maybe we've learned about where spaces are, like in Berlin, it's quite a jungle of different studios and spaces. So that's a place in Berlin we talk about where somebody could be offering their workshop, or maybe even a couple times we've had spontaneous workshops develop. Hey, you do Qigong, and I would love to have Qigong open up for my workshop that I'm teaching next week. Could you come? So it would be a space where you can learn from each other and also possibly work with each other and find a way to get out of this system and more this system. Like, how can I help you in what you're doing? How can I support you? Hey, could you give me a hand with this? I'll give you a free spot in my workshop and you can do this. Okay, so those are the three paths.
Can I restate those?
Yeah.
So for those of you out there, the purpose of the Embodiment Circle, so three purposes: connection between different diverse types of embodiment practitioners, learning and accessible learning in that it's usually free or donation, it's not expensive like most of this field. So they're the two-way learnings, and then subgroups is business, professional business benefit. So the groups that are like in Berlin, there's much more professionals, that's a sort of third aim. The groups without professionals, it's just the first two. So the connection and the accessible learning.
Thank you very much. Is everyone okay with that? Are there any questions? Go forward. No? So Daniela, thank you. Thanks for 10 minutes meditation.
So before we start, I see a few new faces compared to the last circle. Anybody has no experience with meditation, mindfulness practice? Everybody already did this. Okay, great. So we will have like about 10 minutes of meditation, watching the breath, the body. I will guide that. And I would like to invite you to find a comfortable position where you sit upright but not rigid. And if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. If you don't feel comfortable with closing the eyes, you can just put your gaze down about 1 meter in front of you. And just starting by listening to the sound of the bell. And just allowing yourself to arrive here. Maybe the body is already here, but the mind is still somewhere else. Maybe somewhere in the past where you just came from. Already somewhere in the future where you will go to after the circle. And just noticing that in a gentle way, bringing it back to the present moment, to the body, allowing yourself to arrive. Just noticing the body. Maybe noticing the posture. Is it open? Is it upright?
maybe that's somehow crouched or somehow rigid. See if you can let it go. If you can't, just notice it, be with it. Maybe you can also notice the contact points with the ground, the cushion. Every now and then there might be something which distracts you from the body. Maybe there are sounds at the outside. Maybe there are thoughts or emotions coming up. And also then you can just notice and then in a gentle way bringing your awareness back to the body. Noticing your body, sitting here, breathing here. Maybe there are parts in your body which you can feel better, other parts you can feel less good. Just noticing that. Sometimes there are parts in the body who call our attention. Some more tense muscles. Some sort of discomfort. And maybe you can hold that in your awareness for a moment. There's no need to sit through pain, but just holding for a moment the sensation of discomfort, attention in the body, if it's present for you at this moment. How does it feel? Has it maybe a shape? Is it a structure? Does it move? Does it change? Where's your attention right now? Is it still with the body or did it drift away? Completely fine if the mind wanders. It's just the nature of the mind. All you need to do is noticing that and bringing your attention back, bringing your awareness back to the body. The body sitting here, breathing, and any kind of physical sensations connected to that. And for the last few minutes, I would invite you to put your attention to your breath. Maybe noticing the physical sensations of the breath in your body. Where can you feel the breath? Maybe you can notice certain qualities of your breath. Maybe noticing if it's deep or rather shallow. Noticing if it's quick or slow. And also here, there's no need to change or improve the breath. Just holding it in your awareness. And in a moment, we'll finish this meditation with another bell and just following the sound of the bell and then in your own space, opening the eyes. Move a little bit if you feel like stretching. Into the room.
Space, sensing the space around you. And when you feel ready, just give Danielle a little bit of love in your way. Thanks so much. It's so helpful to start with some silence before we open up the circle and talking. Well, I find it really helpful to stand. So just be curious where you are right now, and I find it also really helpful to bring our names into the space. And this isn't going to be a test. You're not going to be tested if you know all the names in the room, but it's for us to bring part of ourselves into the space with our name. And because we're such a diverse group from so many different countries, it would be great to hear my name is in your own language, in your native tongue. So we're just hearing how many people that have languages are here in this room. And if you could just put a gesture to that, of how you are feeling right now. Maybe I'll demonstrate mine. My name is Krista.
Mein Name ist Daniela.
My name is Jamie.
My name is Neil.
Mein Name ist Paul.
Mein Name ist Hannes.
My name is Sophie, and this is Molly.
Меня зовут Ким.
Mi nombre es Anabel. Mijn naam is Elida.
mijn verleking.
Mi nombre es Olivia.
My name is Mark.
I invite you to move as much as you want. It's a compliment. If people are wiggling, if people are moving around, this means that you're feeling comfortable enough to take care of yourself. Okay, so we're going to go around. If I have the timing right in this, yeah. We have a minute each. You don't have to take the minute. I think because on our playbook, if you can use a minute, and we have this nice little timer with a bell. And I'd like to just go around and make some space for what moved you to come here today. What moved you to show up with this, everything else happening in the world, here, in this space right now. If I go around this way, yeah? So you're going to hear a sound like this when your 1 minute's up.
Okay, what moves me is that embodiment I love and it's my life. I think it needs to be a way for people to access that without having to spend loads of money, and also for professionals to meet each other across these different silos of yoga and martial arts and bodywork. It's kind of nice we can get together and talk. Sometimes there's like a business benefit in me for that, but often it's just like I feel less lonely. And for me, this circles idea is a way of getting this stuff out in a completely accessible way. And just personally, I like a lot of people in this room as well. I like being around. So that's like this morning I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get out. No, that's nice. So that's just very personal. Yeah. So I guess is it worth saying that sometimes there's more than we understand?
Or exactly a minute. Yeah.
Well, I am here for many reasons, but in particular because I was lonely doing my work, and I love the interpollination on colleagues and learning, and also because I do believe in that in order to change the world we have to create communities of practices that allow for this transformation of the body and the mind, particularly the brain, which needs lots of repetition and the body, we use the body for everything we do, to relate, to work, to have fun. So I don't know why, I mean I don't know, of course I know why, but those are the reasons I am here.
So I want to introduce myself a bit because I feel like I'm quite new to this, and I am doing a somatic bodywork practice called planetary approach, and a friend of mine told me about this circle gathering, and today I felt why am I coming to this? I don't know anything about it. But what moved me to come here was that I wanted to share what I'm doing, and I want to be supported by others that are doing similar things. And that even though I feel I'm in the unknown, I have fear, and just graduated in my practice, but I thought I'll just bring all of me.
I'm the convener of the Embodiment Circle, and I've been working with embodiment for the last 7-8 years. And I
I'm here because I want to meet other people who are like me, who care about being human and how we meet as bodies. That's the way how I learn to, that works best for me to move in the world. And I'm really curious to have lots of exchange of experience and really meeting other like-minded people. That's really the purpose of being here.
I'm here, I think, basically because of curiosity. But well, embodiment is also part of my life for a long, long time. And I'm always open to listen and to share and to see what's happening in the world. Like, we are very different, we are coming from different countries, different cultures, and I think it's a very important thing to gather and to put all this living everybody's experience and see what happens with that when we fix it together. I'm very curious about that. So for me, it was very important to come to see what's going on. What's going on in my own living experience, and what do people do with this now?
They're putting together Moscow Circle, and for me, lately I'm really interested in communities, and especially communities, built not by some strict hierarchy, and the question is how to create a working community without rules, but with some guidelines. So I'm here mostly for that reason, to understand, to clarify, to put together these guidelines, these values, and to find a way to really make it accessible, and to find the way to really be the person who is able of that.
My background is in several different embodiment practices, and it just feels like they're all operating very separately, but brought together. They all have the same aims of people living more rich lives, being more in touch with themselves, in touch with each other, and in touch with the environments around them. And it feels like this is a really powerful, simple way to change the world. So, and I, with a few other people, we do some workshops at London Business School, so I'm really hoping that we can be part of something bigger, part of another circle.
I think well, for me it makes me a little bit nervous being on camera and sitting and sharing in front of people, and this is something which comes out of my thought processes and gives me a physical reaction, and now I allow that to be right now and just try to be here, and this is what embodiment means for me, just being with what comes, and also realizing that there are ways to feel more ease and feel more joy and pleasure inside of the body, and there are various ways of doing it. And I was always very much in my mind and suffered from negative thoughts, and such a gift to know that there's a way of releasing that tension and pressure. And I love to do it. I love embodiment, and also to share that, my own experience, with other people and learn from the experience of other people.
I'm here because I found out that the mind was allowing me to only go to a certain level, and that there's a whole world outside of the mind, and I found my body to be learning more and more about what that world is about. So the body for me is the tool for development for the last 2-3 years, and come together with other people, sharing our bodies and sharing our expression, learning from each other. That is why I'm here.
I'm here because I'm the convener of the London Circle, and I have to be. I'm here because of the three things that Mark said at the beginning: the connection, so building a community, building a tribe of people who are interested in lots of different embodied practices like me. I'm here for accessibility, bringing more people into the circle and not outside of the circle. I'm here because professionally I work as a trainer in business and organizations, and I want to bring it into the world of work and not embodied practices just to be something that people use to escape from work. I want to bring it into organizations. I want to bring it into all parts of our lives, so that there's no separation. And I think that's what technology sometimes brings, is that separation. I don't want to be going to the other side of biohacking and virtual reality. More reality, embodied reality.
I'm here for lots of different reasons. I am attempting to try and start a circle up in the Midlands in the UK, so predominantly it's to try and learn and gain experience from other people that run circles and learn more about how to structure them and things like that. But also, I think part of it is a confidence thing, in that I feel like by showing up to something like this, it gives me more confidence in the path that I'm on, because I'm really interested in embodied stuff, but sometimes I get doubting of myself about, oh, you don't know what you're doing, or just all the self-doubt comes in, and I find that going to things like this is very reassuring to connect with other people and to actually be physically doing the practices, and it just, I don't know, making the commitment to actually be here and show up with other people is quite valuable to help deal with that. And there's also an aspect of just wanting to learn new skills and not having the money to do it in any other settings. So.
Okay, I would love to say something incredibly smart and inspiring. And part of me was thinking this up while everybody was doing it around. But in fact, I think I'm really here. I love embodiment, though I just got in touch with it last year with the term of embodiment, and the broadness of it. And I'm very much in creating stuff online, and while doing a lot of stuff online, like the Embodiment Conference last year, and a couple of courses, I feel a depth of connection online which kind of misses the visceral part. So I'm really here because I feel there is such a huge gap between the connection I feel online and the need I have in my body. And part of me wants to fill this gap, part of me wants to create this connection, and a part of me just wants to meet nice people.
I'll start with the reason what moved me to come here is exactly this feeling that I have right now of resonating with so many people right now. Going and when I started my work about 27 years ago, I studied psychology and dance, and it was very much a separated practice. And as a movement therapist in the psychiatric field, it was kind of like, what are you doing? But okay, something's working, but I don't know what, but just keep doing it. And now more and more, and thank you to online stuff, I feel like embodiment is getting the repetition, or the reputation that it needs. And I'm feeling really incredibly political about it. Being born in the US, but living in Berlin, I feel like I cannot not be embodied right now, the way the world is right now, and the way things are happening. I feel like this is the only way, the only tool I have to make the difference, that it's be the change I want to see in the world. So take a little wiggle, let it land, but the circle that we just shared together, to what you need. We're going through movement practice with Kim in a second, but take care of yourself before the time over the 20 minutes to move with you. So let's just take a minute for yourself. Everyone do what you need to do before Kim guides us in what way. Maybe a stretch, maybe a pat on the shoulder, or shake a little. And remember, be gentle with yourself. So what Kim is going to guide us in is an offering that you can take and adapt it to your body the way it feels today. Okay? So be kind to yourself. Mm-hmm. 20 minutes. Yeah?
I just have very short.
Okay. Oh, I apologize. Okay. We already awakening our body to awareness. And now let's awaken it a little bit physically. We already started that. But maybe let's shake a little bit. Just, yeah. Ooh. Maybe from the top to the bottom and the other way around. A few times. Yeah. And let's continue with the start, like this a little tenderness, maybe stroking, giving some care to ourselves. Which part needs to be touched? Yeah. Okay. Very nice. And now, let's give it some vibe. Just also gentle, but yeah, bring it on a little bit. Maybe a little bit more energy. Nice, nice. And don't forget your back. Maybe put some sound to that as well. Inside. And the head. And the face. Nice, 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 nice. And you know what? We are here all about circles. Let's do circles. Let's start this left toe. Yeah. And the other way. And now the right one. Okay. And the other way. Knees. Well, let's start this left knee. And the other way. And the right one. Opposite direction. And then walk. And left hip. How do you do that? Let's be co-creative. Okay, the other way around. And the right one. Okay. Oh, I don't know how you call this part, but this part. Okay. And the other way. And now stomach. Let's do circles with our stomach. I don't know how you do that, but just do it. Yeah. Opposite direction. Okay, and the chest. Feel it. How do you circle it, huh? And the opposite direction. And arms. Let's start with wrists. Opposite way. And elbows. Opposite. And now shoulders. Maybe one by one or together. Like, what do we need now?
And maybe let's circle the whole torso. Maybe you want your arms to it. Maybe you need a wider range. Another direction. And let's go for the neck. And the opposite way. And your eyes as well. Let's circle it. And maybe your tongue. Yeah. Oh, this is a new actually. And now we have a few more minutes just to co-create. Let's circle anything else you need to circle. Yeah, just free circling, you know? Maybe you need to circle with somebody else. Maybe somebody in your body still needs to be circled. Yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. Maybe group circling, you know? That's a good. Woo! Nice. Give yourself some time to find the exact circle you need now. Yeah, maybe your spine. Yeah. Hugging circles. Stretching. And pay attention to the circles of your breathing as this practice comes to that. Just finish what you're doing now. Yeah, and there's a last circle of this practice. We come back. Ooh.
Thank you so much. Find your way to thank him for holding the space for us. Just for our own personal circle, your personal circle. Okay, the love circle.
I'm circling.
A little pause. Take a moment to notice what you're noticing. What are you noticing in your body? Thoughts. Just generally, what are you noticing? Okay. So whatever you're noticing, bring your attention also to your breath as well as what you're noticing. While you're noticing what you're noticing, where are you noticing some ease in your body? Where are you finding some ease? Could be the skin temperature, could be your left toe. And invite that ease to just be a little bit bigger. Just bring it, stretching out your attention into that space. So whatever that means for you right now. And then now, what are you noticing? Give that some space. Stretch it just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more. And what you're noticing. And now if your eyes are closed, just start to bring your eyes into the space. And keeping that attention, what you're noticing inside, internally. And slowly bring your eyes into the space, the people in the space. Keep noticing what you're noticing internally while you slowly stretch your attention to the outside. What are you noticing? Now this is a really difficult part of embodiment, to keep noticing what you're noticing and to bring your attention, invite your attention outwards. See what's coming up. Maybe it's a feeling, maybe it's, oh, I gotta ask this person. Just notice it right now. And just hold on to that. I'm just going to say one more. One of the really important parts of Embodiment Circle meeting are the breaks. So anyone that knows open space, the concept is that the conference, there's very minimal information getting transferred. It's the coffee breaks that are important. So we're going to keep noticing what we're noticing. And maybe you're noticing, oh, I really got to go outside and be by myself for a bit. Get away from this camera. Or I'm noticing, I'd really like to have a hug. Or whatever. Just keep noticing, and let's take the break, share, but just keep noticing what you're noticing. And we're going to come back in 15 minutes, and Neil's going to say something, but I'm going to submit in my last sentence. We're going to come back, and please be punctual, because this is a container that we've all agreed to show up in. So come back, and I'm going to just make a check of the time. It's now 10 to 11. Please come back at 11:15, so we really can commit to what we've agreed to be here, and that the people that need to leave at 12:30 can. Okay, we're not rushing. Is that okay for everyone? Cool.
The next 25 minutes.
It means 25 minutes. Okay, and that's really just 1 minute. Can you share with us?
Please, I know I said it to most of you, but just want to make sure everybody heard it. Please, can you get a note, some cash, the largest denomination you can. So 10, 20, the largest denomination you can.
Is it going home with us?
Sorry?
Possible
Other currencies are fine, yes, as long as it, it's large as large a denomination as you can.
This is a really cool business trick. What do you call it? A pyramid system?
No. It's for you. I'm not going to be taking it. I'm not going to be asking for it. No one else is going to be taking it unless you give it. You don't have to give it away. There's no.
Notice what happens already, though.
Yeah. So notice what happens around money, and that's what we're going to be. The session is going to be around. It's going to be around money and embodied reactions to money, and maybe making some shifts around money.
Awesome.
So better bring the largest donation.
Okay.
Really quite a nice classic example of an embodiment circle. They are done differently in different places though. So those three segments were sharing, movement and meditation. Sometimes they're done in different orders. For example, that's quite common. Some groups start with movement, then do meditation, then do sharing, or whatever order people like. They're the sort of three pieces. They can also be done differently, like the movement, sometimes a bit more yoga-y, sometimes a bit more dancey, depending on the group, what people like. And the meditation's normally like body-based, mindfulness of breathing, usually not too sort of new agey or esoteric. It's normally fairly classic, like Daniela did theirs. The movement, as they can be different ways of doing it. The sharing, sometimes it's 3 minutes or 5 minutes, sometimes it's 1 word or 3 words. A lot depends on the size of the group. There's other ways to do sharing. I saw an innovative way in New York, for example, that was quite different. So there are different ways to do that. And also you saw that Chris today at the end was like, oh, there's a few more minutes, I've got a bit of time. So while some groups are like very structured, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, usually 10 minutes for the meditation and the movement. There's often these little bits of flexibility needed where the timekeeper, the facilitator, basically says, oh, we've got a bit of time, and I did one yesterday where I did a gratitude round. I just said to everyone, what are you grateful for? And everyone named one thing. Coaching rounds are things where we say things like, what's one thing you need to accept in life? Or what's one thing you need to change in life? And a classic round is just, how are you? So this is actually a profound embodiment question. It's like, how are you today? Like, how are you really? And sometimes gesture, sound, movement, 1 word, 3 words, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, obviously it depends on the group. The thing I would really recommend is what Krista did say, which is the timer. So people just naturally will go on a lot, and to keep it fair, some people just lose track of time. So to keep it fair, the bell really helps. And some groups actually pass that round so people can see how long they've got, so they're not anxious. So I really recommend that. And as Krista was doing, holding like firm boundaries around time is really important. That is a critical success factor, that the timekeeper keeps those firm boundaries. And as she said, the breaks are really important, and that can be like opening up the space a bit before is really helpful, and often a bit after. So that if people are connected, they can say, oh, let's do this thing together, or invite each other to things, or swap ideas. Like decent sized breaks in the middle, before and after, where people can connect. So lots of ways to do embodiment circles. There's very few, like, it has to be this way. So this is just one example you're seeing, but I think a pretty classic one and a good one. So I hope this gives you some ideas for your circle, wherever you are.
Well, the sound, especially when you've been in conversations. So giving sound is like a little massage on the inside. So just do some unusual sound. Just explore the space. She's here. Welcome. I'm just going to say something out loud, because as a convener from Berlin, where Berlin tends to be a little bit like come as you choose timing, and coming from the States, moving to Berlin. So Berlin is this microcosm of Germany. Germans have this tendency, or have a reputation. I've become. So what I like to do when we're convening, and especially after breaks, because there's still conversations that want to be finished up, and we have this amazing opportunity to learn from you. So what I do is
amazing.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm like, wow, I need this information. So what I do is just shut the door. So what happens is, probably next time when we have a conveners group, the people that were behind the door might be aware that, oh, I don't really want to come in a little late. Okay, so just, and it's silly pedagogic bullshit maybe, but it works. Okay, so maybe just keep that as you're responsible as a timekeeper. So the job that I'm doing today is to make a space where everyone is showing up the way we've agreed to show up.
So you mean you shut the door and lock the door?
No, I don't lock the door. But I don't wait for the last person to come in.
Okay.
So
you just start,
and
they can join.
And yes.
Okay.
And that uncomfortableness will remain in their embodied awareness for next time that they'll come in.
You see, it's my stereotype about Germans, maybe, and block it.
No, Berlin is very different, like I said, from Germans. But I tend to take it on. Yeah. So we're going to start, and we have an hour.
We have an hour, 11 until 12:20. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is. And then we're going to have 10 minutes in the end to just wrap things up. Okay? Did you name?
Yes. Hi, my name's Neil. Money. How are you feeling right now when I just say the word? And what emotions, what physical sensations does it evoke? Money. Probably, maybe, it might be a little not concrete right now, because you're not holding anything. It might just be a concept right now. I'm going to try my aim is to explore your relationship to money right now, and to give you some more awareness of where you are, build some range of choices and to have choices, be able to have some choices about different ways of reacting, perhaps. But primarily just to really to explore. By the way, as with the rest of the day, if something feels uncomfortable and you don't want to do it, you are totally free to step out. Just pay attention to yourself. How am I feeling right now? Does it feel it's going too much, or do I need to step into it a little bit more, even though it is uncomfortable? So, I invite you to stand up. And I asked you before to bring a note. So you've got a note. Everyone got a note? Hold it in your hand. Hold it in your hand and notice what comes up. Look at it. What are you noticing internally? Any emotions arising? Any embodied sense? Anything like sensations? Do you feel any tightness anywhere in your body? Just notice it. Look at it. Turn it around. What happens if you stretch it up? Yeah. So what happens internally when you stretch it up? Yeah. What happens?
You've got that deal there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that actually. Why don't we just do that? If you just walk around, and if you feel like it, you're gonna exchange notes. Yeah, and you can give them back, and you can totally give them back straight away. Just maybe give them. In fact, maybe we'll just do that for safety. Just give them. You can exchange a note. Just notice what happens internally. Pause, and then give the note back straight away, unless they're of different. If they're of different denominations. Yeah. So just exchange. Give your notes, notice what happens. So notice what happens internally, emotions. Yeah. So be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Just don't try and just be aware. Just notice what's happening inside. Yes, it is serious. It is serious. Okay, the person that you're with next, I'd like you to stop and pause them. If there's a group, anyone on their own at the moment? No. So if you just turn around. Oh, okay, there's one person here. It was Sophie. What? Back to your earliest messages around money. Your earliest messages around money. I'm just going to lead you in a kind of a guided meditation, I guess. First of all, just breathing into your belly. And you can either have your eyes open or closed, it's up to you. your belly if that helps, and breathing in and expanding your belly. And imagine that you're gently falling backwards. You're being cushioned, you're held, but you're gently falling backwards. And it's like we're rewinding the years. We're going back in time. Maybe you're seeing your favorite movie montage of going back in time. Maybe you're feeling yourself stepping backwards. Maybe you're hearing voices from the past. And I'd like you to go back to your home where you were brought up, where your earliest memories around money. What messages did you have around money from your parents, from your mother, or guardian who's looking after you? What kinds of things did they say? What messages? Was money a thing to be kept carefully, treated seriously? Or was there a sense of fun and enjoyment, freedom, adventure around money? How did your father react? What things did he say? Or any father figure? How was your environment around money? Did you get brought up in a comfortable home? Did you never have to worry about money? Or was money constantly talked about, worried over? Then bring your attention back to your breathing again, to your belly. You're coming forward, back into the present. You can feel your feet, your bum on the chair, hips. Take another breath into your belly. What kinds of things came up? Let's maybe break into a small group of three. We'll emotions. So you've got 5 minutes.
I learned very early on I can save money. So see something she started. Days where it's saving it and
I know it's 5 cents.
One minute to go. 1 minute. Something surprise.
Yeah, what for me came up was, that was quite surprising. I grew up with my mother always saying, money doesn't make you happy, but it makes you secure. And I know this is kind of a mantra I kept on telling me, but I never noticed so clearly that for me money is really security and that it's so connected to. So that was really surprising.
For me, what really surprised me, because I've never seen this aspect of it, is that in my family there was no shortage of anything, but there was no money spent on fun, concerts, theater, funny clothes, nothing, and I have lots of trouble to spend money in fun. It's only education, and so that was really nice for me.
Any other messages? We heard in our group we talked about guilt around money, about having money, guilt about not having money. So you can get caught from both sides. So sometimes some double messages, mixed messages.
Yeah. That was my thing. It was like guilt. If you don't have money, you haven't worked hard enough. And if you have money, you shouldn't flaunt it. You shouldn't make anyone feel bad about it. And it's taking money away from somebody else. So, yeah.
So
Double bind.
double bind. So our relationship with money brings up a lot around our relationship around self-worth, how we feel about self-love, how we feel about ourselves, valuing what you do as well. So it's actually deep work to work around talking about money. So giving it the relationship with self-worth. Yeah, so how much money is a reflection of how good I am. How good I am at my job. You know, how good I am at earning money means relates to how good I am as maybe if I also the difference between being an under-earner and voluntary simplicity. So under-earner is I'm earning less than my potential. So I could be earning more if I did these things, but I don't like talking about money. I haven't raised my fees in 3 years, or 5 years, or 10 years. Versus voluntary simplicity, I can earn money when I want to. I have enough for my needs right now and in the future. So there's a big difference between those two things. Does that make more sense? Great. So I'll invite everyone to stand up. And in the room, if you want to face the wall, that's totally okay. Go into a corner, that's okay. So that was the past, and we're taking some of that with us. That doesn't necessarily mean we haven't learned, we haven't changed, we don't have our own experience. So where are we right now? And I'd like you to put yourself, embody that, how you're feeling or how you are right now, right this moment with money. So just standing or sitting or lying, how would you embody or show to yourself and to other people what's your relationship with money right now? So it might be like holding like this, or it might be this, or it might be this. There's an ease or a sense. So just take a moment, maybe just walk around a little bit, feel into it, and then find a space where you feel comfortable and show that, embody that, demonstrate that internal feeling through the body. So maybe everyone at the same time just say out loud what emotions or feelings or sensations you're getting right now. Expansion. Generosity. Openness. Surrounding.
Interaction. Abundance. Kindness.
Frugal.
Adequate.
Pressure.
Flowing.
Hiding. Protection.
Acceptance.
Void.
Relax.
Generosity.
Openness. Surrounding.
Interaction. Abundance. Kindness.
Frugal. Adequate. Pressure.
Flowing.
Hiding. Protection.
Acceptance.
Void.
Relax.
Generosity.
Then let that go. Come back into the center, into the circle, just so you can see me. We can do something called Furikama. Furikama is a practice I learned through my Aikido teacher. It's a Japanese practice called shaking the soul. Shaking the soul. So it's partly about letting go of that embodiment right now, being able to come back to a bit more neutral state. So if you put your feet hip width apart, not shoulder width apart, hip width apart, facing forward, relax your knees slightly. Put your right hand on top of your left hand and try to create a little pressure so that they're not loose and floppy, they won't fly apart. You're keeping them together, but the rest of your arms are relaxed. So I'm holding here, but my arms are relaxed and just relaxed down in front of my tantien, my center here for many martial arts traditions, 3 points, the center. So I'm then just gently and allowing your knees to bend and separating the breath from the shaking. So even though whatever breath is coming in slowly, so breathing in slowly, and it's separate and different and differentiated from your shaking. So I'm still breathing, but I can get faster. I'm still breathing slowly. your center. Feel the weight in your hands. It's like you're holding a heavy stone. So come up, lift down. And practice varying the speed. So really fast, maybe. And keeping your breath steady though, and then slowing down. Right hand on top, not the side, right hand on top. What is it? The weight you've got in your left hand. And just give a good shape. One last cheek. And stop. And let go of your hands. Notice how you feel. Notice any sensations in your body. Does it feel different from a moment ago before we started? I like to walk around the room slowly, gently. And the next person you find yourself in front of, I'd like you to say, can I have £100 or €100 or equivalent amount in your currency? So choose who's A and who's B. Just A. And A's, you go first, and you ask the other person, can I have £100 please, or €100?
Can I have 100 pounds?
Notice, so the A's, notice what happens in you, what happens internally, what happens emotionally, what happens, what sensations do you feel, where do you feel it? And B's, who were asked, what do you feel to be asked for that amount of money? You have to give it. And then
euros in Spanish.
Okay.
Euros in Spanish.
Okay, try it again. Try it again.
Yes. Me das 100 euros.
People
Do you
use
know
their
it?
first language, right?
Yes, you can use your first language if you like. That helps to make it more real.
Me vas a dar 100 libras.
So what do you notice? What do you notice? Just notice.
What
What do you feel? What sensations? Emotion? No, just notice internally. Okay. Now this time we're going to make a slight change. And before you ask, I'd like you to put your hand on your belly, one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And sense of limitlessness, of freedom. Feel your feet on the ground, rooted to the earth, grounded. And when you feel ready, A's, after you've taken a couple breaths, and ask the same question.
Me das 100 libras. 100 libras. 100 euros, por favor.
Sure.
$30.
Okay, now you can talk about A especially, but talk about what did you notice? Any difference between the two? The first time and the second time, or the first time, the time after you'd done it, you'd had a little breathing. Yeah. What did you notice? Okay, if you can bring those conversations to close and just thank the person. Any way you'd like, just say thank you, or give them a hug, or shake their hands, or okay. And yeah, so just be aware that somebody, it might have brought up something for somebody, it might be difficult right now, so just notice that. But maybe also, let's do a little shaking again. So whatever came up for you, notice that you can shake it. You can let it go. Shaking the soul. And this time maybe you can put your arm out to the left and bring it back in. So like the arms are quite loose here. It's like you're throwing out your arm and it comes back to home. Throwing out the arm and it comes back in a sort of oval shape. Like a circle, a squashed circle. Throwing out the arm, it comes back. Throwing out the arm. Throwing out the arm. And then back to the center and shake. And maybe walking around with a little shake. I'm finding a little space again, maybe. Just throw it out to the right. Put your left hand on top. So throw it out to the right. Throw it out to the right. You notice any difference? Yeah. Yeah, just walk around again. And then I'd like you to find a space in the room. It could just be where you are, it could be in a corner. And I'd like you to show me and show the others, or you could just turn away if you like. How would you like to be? How would you like to be around money? Not how you were, how you are, but how you would like to be around money. So how would you really love to be? What would be fantastic? What would be amazing? What would be the best? What would be your ideal? Can you show that to us? You know, turn around. If you don't feel comfortable, you can turn around. And again, calling out the words, calling out the emotions, calling out the feelings, the sensations in your body right now. How you like to be around them. You can say in your own language. Excited.
Joyful.
Giving. Generous. Yeah, creative. Bringing in and giving out. Flowing. Yes. And then keep trying to maintain or keep that sense of how you would like to be, having it now, and just walking around again a little bit. Yeah, and maybe move your arms, or your legs, breathing. How would you like to do it? And be, in fact, being that, embodying that. Not just think about it. Yeah. Wow. Ooh, yeah. That's great. And then the next person you find yourself in front of, please stop. And if you were an A, then perhaps you could be a B. And keeping that sense of expansion, I'd like you A's to ask the same question, keeping that sense of expansion, and I am where I want to be, I am that generosity, I am that freedom, that flow, and ask for that money now.
Sorry, the same person asked.
Same question.
Same person asked the same question.
Well, no. If you can switch. Okay, and then switch over. So the other person asks the question. And then maybe this time going back to the first person who asked, and asking for that amount, but in relationship to maybe a service that you're giving to them, like a class that you've given, or some work that you've done for them. So in relationship to something work or tangible, receiving money for something tangible, like work that you've done, or a product that you've given, or some hours that you've done for this person. And same question again, with that sense of expansion, flow, freedom. Okay, that first person ask. Oh, I didn't mean switch. Okay, switch, change partners. Sorry, there was some people who changed, so maybe changes the person next, another person. Okay, and And then the person will choose A and B, and A goes first and asks that question. Again, from that sense of expansion, growth, freedom, and flow. And change the amount if you like. Maybe make the amount about 10 times the amount. Make it €1,000, £1,000. Same person. Yeah. And then change, just noticing what's happening in your body. Is there any difference? And change roles. So swap roles, and the other person asks for money. Yeah, and if you notice yourself, just pause a moment. Just pause. If you notice yourself slipping back into fear or worry, just take a moment to breathe again, feel that sense of expansion, and ask once more. So if you're noticing how you feel, and then consciously changing your state. Consciously changing your state. It is within your control. Consciously changing your state. For that second person, please ask again.
So the work that we're showing up to do together
And then maybe changing the amount. Make it really high. 10,000 pounds. 10,000 euros. Without going into humor, which is a kind of escape. Yeah. Try and think of a large amount of money, £10,000. It's a significant amount of money, I think, to everybody here, but maybe I'm wrong. But £10,000, €10,000, $10,000. And again, a sense of first tuning into yourself, and when I'm giving something of value. I'm giving something that is of use to the other person. It's a service, it's a product, it's my labor. And then when you're ready, and you feel that sense of expansion, freedom, or whatever emotion that you would like to feel, then
So the work we're about to embark on, I'm asking you to contribute 10,000 to the session. Okay with that?
In meiner Musik halt was Embodiment angeht und habe dann das Talent für das zu verbalisieren, positive Art und Weise in die Welt zu schicken und wollte das mal ein gutes Geschenk in die Welt gerne ausbringen. Ich wollte mich fragen, ob du 20.000 € dafür geben kannst.
So thank you, partner. And whichever way you like, so say thank you, give them a hug,
Yes, yes.
namaste. Okay, and I'd like you to find another pair, so 4 people, find another pair, and sit down with them. Sit down with your little pair, or your 4, or there's a 6. Okay, yeah. Oh, no, there's 2, 4. Let's. Fours. So there's 4s there. 4, 1, 2, or there's a 5. That's fine. 4 or 5. And what did you know? What happened for you? What kind of things happened for you? What changes did you notice? So this is 5 minutes, just talking. What did you notice that happened for you during this session? So what things came up? What was significant for you? Let's say 3 things that you find significant or interesting.
It's not just a wish that is one bubble, it's not just there's like a movement up. If there's some kind of it becomes something more solid. Like I want to question. Yeah, like I just want it. Like I don't need to explain this. Yes, I don't need to justify anything. It's just like there's just a need for it. Especially the voice
I feel a connection between me and the other person, which is
really helpful
because
definitely
there's moments
and the third thing is with other people I noticed like the higher price actually I was like, oh really? It's really cool thing but that's really positive embodiment circle. It was like, but also like for me was the same. I don't know if you understood this. When I came to the point, I said, like 20 minutes. That's the and also,
I mean, I was the same. I was very annoyed because we got in my very related even the exercise to change my mentality. It was sombrary and
all sorts of strange, funny weirdness about it.
Connect that back to the meditation. I wonder if it was a weird thing. I was very like upside down.
Kind of had the feeling
people really appreciate it because they always see it. I was alone to ever talk about basic marketing.
But we also need to use this out. As an academic, I feel really balanced. I thought it was money for art, which I've never seen, but I only done for myself. Rather than for what I did. And I run the workshops, I run are for free because I can't give myself to charge. I don't see. But that's
and I've changed to something more like asking for musician wanting to produce an album. She supported
I'd like
to bring
offer it to more
music
people.
to the world. It felt kind of good for me that I actually like what I'm
also I
doing. I
can't
think
put
it's really important.
price tag on it. So I have a sense that if you
Support
put price,
for them.
people might value it more. I know that.
She said that weird for her because she's not getting something in exchange for her.
Yeah, for me it was like,
That would be
so asking for service felt different than asking for donation.
So there's a minute left. 1 minute.
So For me, what
I
kind
have
of
lost all
sessions
my
first,
money
the
in
relationship
properties
might
and
equal
health,
like
like 5 years ago because of
it's
my
really weird.
I'm conscious to sacrifice to save the world.
I'm quite comfortable in asking for money, and I know that the service I'm offering
so I know what
is
it
actually
is
worth
to
it.
be on the
And I feel myself in the chance playing that, and
just
not
5
asking.
years
I'm
ago.
doing that
So I think
because
so
this
that's
is how I
because
choose to give that amount of money.
I could
And you, okay,
so
yeah,
now
but
I'm
this
back on
house
my
needs
feet.
that and that and that.
No, I'm back on my feet by
This is the just so that I'm kind of maximizing the outcome
so
and
at this
minimizing the
moment
price.
I'm not sure that
Yeah.
I take my money from
So this is for like for this amount of money you get a lot.
execution. Some bring the other way around. Some people charge lots of money, so to make sure that they can give from the foundation.
Okay, and then finishing up, please. Saying thank you to you group members. And coming back to the circle. If you can hear me, put your hand in the air. If you can hear me, put your hand in the air. Yes, good, great. And back into the circle, please. The larger circle.
Thank you.
Just noticing when I try to feel safe by having money or keeping money.
Okay.
Openness for receiving money for what I'm bringing out in the world.
Alright, yes, receiving as well as giving.
Feeling my pelvis and my legs more before entering money negotiations.
Oh yeah, nice one.
And give myself permission to be abundant.
Anybody else?
Money to also keep finding how we can really connect with each other.
Stay connected with my breathing when I'm negotiating with money.
Respect money more for the security it brings.
Okay, so more respect.
Need to do more embodiment work around money.
Feel more playful. Less serious. And different of you So lots of things, different ways you can do, lots of different ways, lots of different ways you can take this. But notice maybe just some of those breathing, centering, furitama, some of those little tools as well could be helpful. Do you want to say something?
I came up with separating money from relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
It's not. I mean, the money is not relationship.
Yeah, perfect.
30 minutes after the session, you can lunch.
30 minutes after the session, you're going to have lunch. But just notice also throughout the day, well, you know, the next part, what happens when the next time you give somebody money or receive money. Thank you very much.
Deep work and an hour, amazing. So just to let it land before we shift into practicals and ending the session for today, see where you're at. Just feel a sense where you are in yourself. You make a little note of what you noticed in the beginning of the session as opposed to what you are sensing right now in the closing. Just be aware of the answers that maybe came, or maybe also the questions that you're leaving with. Okay. Now when you're ready, just take a look around the room, see if something shifted for you in the space. Are people suddenly holding babies in this room? What's different than 2.5 hours ago? Just beam onto a meta, maybe making a mental note. Who do I want to make conversation with, or what questions do I want to ask Neil when we're done. Yeah, so it's just making a note of that. And if we were in a circle group in our own cities, this would be the time for practicals. When is going to be the next meeting? Who's going to be the convener? Who's taking charge of where it's going to be? And what are the guest speakers? What's our interest to have next time as a guest speaker? And those things are set up for tomorrow. Did you want to just mention that for now? What's set up for tomorrow? Just so
Yeah, so the next public circle is tomorrow morning, and that's 10 to 12:30 in a big room downstairs.
I'm also curious if we would have like a mailing list, because in Berlin at the end I have a mailing list that we have also possibilities of having flyers going out for mail. So there are lots of people that aren't on Facebook, believe it or not. So I also want to encourage anyone that's not in a Facebook group, and maybe we're going to set up something that's just for circles.
Each group does it differently, so some use Facebook, some use mail lists, some send a Raven. You know, this is like each group is totally however they want to do it. Yeah, so.
Yeah, this will be something we'll talk about this afternoon of how we have an international group that we can give your address to Neil if you want information about this workshop.